Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday, the 21st of July. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well, despite the absolute brutality of how the horses went on Thursday. 20 on, 0 back. It was an absolute stinker. Nothing really went near. We had one that was in contention that fell. Was the nicest thing I could say. And in the win bet, we had three second places, all beaten by favourites. So yeah, just poor. So I think first time since June the 1st we've had a strikeout day. That day was a 15 on, 0 back, and that was a particularly risky one. So this was definitely the most painful day for a while. And on the backdrop of losing half a day's stake the day before and getting hammered on Saturday, I think we've lost about 60 quid in 3 videos. So 3 day stake in 3 videos. That is a painful, painful period of time. All right, so given my trail, if you want to carry on, I'll tell you I've got a £20 stake for Friday, 4 bets, 3 lucky 15s, 1 combination double. That is coming up. Whether you want it or not is entirely up to you. But I very much appreciate when we have absolute rough days like Thursday. Lots of people are very understanding. Clearly, some folk come out the woodwork, less so. People. What do people say? Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. Personally, I use a bit of sarcasm myself, but yeah, there you go. Anywho, so £20 for Friday. So what we got, we're going to go through. Yesterday. There's nothing really to go through, is there? It was terrible. We lost our money. So that was that. So it puts us 30 down for the week already, and we got to a point last week, and it was going quite nicely, and we got back to a £10 deficit for July. I think we're now minus 70 for July. That's a tough place to be, but we've got 10 days to get going. I know from my own personal profit and loss figures, if I don't get anything in the next 10 days, then July will be my worst month for years, to be honest. So yeah, it's just not. There's been a few bits. There's been lots of endeavour. Just it's connection, and then the last few days of doing videos. Apart from the odd little, there was a odd gem on Thursday, so Wednesday. It's just been rubbish. So yeah, and it long since passed is whatever day it was last week, or Friday. I think we had a good Friday. So it's part of the gig, and if you're not into that, then you won't be able to hack gambling, because however you do it, you'll have losing days. Doing it my way, you'll have more losing days than if you back short prices. Clearly. So we're going to go through the bets, and then we're going to have a mention on the golf, and I promised I would do a few more stats based on the conversation we had 2 vids ago about combination doubles and Saturdays and all that sort of jazz. So I've got a little bit of that, but yeah, let's hope for a better day on Friday. I need one, to be fair. Like, I'm feeling a bit tired. Got a lot going on, burning the candle at multiple ends with family stuff and that. I got a bit more of that at the weekend, so we'll see how it goes. Saturday doesn't look, to be fair, overly busy, and certainly not comparative to last week. So we'll see. There'll be a lot of racing. I just don't know what that's going to convert to. So bets for Friday. Starting off with Newbury with a rogue Kilbeggan. So we're going to go. Start off 3:35 Newbury. That's the first race for me. It's a very competitive race, but Red Flyer is a well handicapped horse. The challenge with that, and the reason it's the price, is because you've got a lot of 3-year-olds mixing in with the handicap. In the handicap, there were some older horses, and generally is bias in the betting market towards 3-year-old unexposed 3-year-olds in handicaps. We aim to exploit that bias within this type of strategy, and therefore we lean on the experienced horses who are well handicapped against the unknown form of the 3-year-olds. That's kind of one of the things I do. I go against where I know the bias exists within the betting market. I was going to mention actually the other day, because I forgot to do that this morning. There was a horse running against one of ours on Wednesday, Villa Boas, I think it was, and it was 1-3 when I did the video, and I said I thought that might go off nearer to evens. It went off like 7-2. That is something you do not see very often at all. A horse go from 1-3 the night before to 7-2. I knew the 1-3 was bad, but 7-2, finished fourth. So yeah, but that is not something you see every day. Anyway, back to this. Red Fly 20-1, 410 Newbury Tashi. Interesting bits of form, I think, from Ireland, which absolutely give that one a shout. It's sort of the price suggests not, and you can get 50s I've seen on Paddy Power as a single, so well worth having a little bit look around what you can get for Tashi. And then we're going, so they're two of a similar ilk really. They're against younger horses. 520 Newbury, it's a big fielder. I've gone for a shorter one in that. I didn't like anything bigger, so I've got Vegas Jack at 7s, and then just randomly, because I've got two horses in that race, I've ended up having Cliff Top, 645 Kilbeggan, 18-1. It's an 18p each way, lucky 15, and we've got a 30p each way double, so we're going on our two experienced against the 3-year-olds each way double, Red Flyer and Tashi. It's a £6 bet. Sky are best, because Sky are going 6 there. Then Unibet second best, because I think you can get 4th on that race on Unibet. I think that's why. Then 365 or Coral next best. That is bet one, £6. Should just flag as well, I haven't got anything in it, but don't if you're a Sky Bet user, don't get caught out by the 8:30 Kilbeggan. They are currently priced that market up, paying 6 places. That is basically incompetence or dishonesty, whichever you want to decide. But basically, there's a maximum of 14 horses due to run that race. So at Kilbeggan, the maximum field size for a hurdle race is 16. For a chase, it's 14. So in that chase race, that AS at 8:30, the maximum runners will be 14 because there's a few reserves in there. So that Sky's terms are, as long as there's 16 runners, they'll pay 6 places. There won't ever be 16 runners in that race. The maximum is they're going to be 14. So Sky will actually pay 5 on that race until it gets down to 11 runners. So just to watch out if you are backing that in any sort of stretch because you're thinking that's 6 places. It's not 6 places on Sky. It's going to be 5. As I said, it could be dishonesty. It could be incompetence. I'll let anyone else speculate on what they think it is, but Sky will not pay 6 places on the 8:30 despite what they price the market up. All right, bet 2. This is my Irish lucky 15. 340 Killarney, and there's a couple of familiar faces in there. Espion Deschanel, 10-1, it's a regular on the channel. 505 Kilbeggan, we took it last time, Red Striker. What you've got here in these 3 Kilbeggan races is the first 2 are just such low quality, and there's nothing consistent in there. At the moment, the night before, the market is terrible, so you've got a lot of horses single figures. So what I've gone for is I've gone looking down, I think like anything at a shorter price. So I've gone and looked at the big price ones and looked at ones that have got back form that says actually this course distance, these sort of conditions, they've got the potential to get back to where they were. So all 3 of these Kilbeggan ones are all ones we're looking to bounce back from previous run-ins basically. I think Red Striker is possibly coming into form. If you look through back form, that horse seems to do better, predominantly in July. So once it gets warmed up into the season, there's a few years where July was its best run, definitely. So Red Striker 25s, and then we're going to go Capacurry Croy, 535, 22-1. And then the 645 Game and Glory 25-1. That's again that only needs to bounce back from I think the last run. Before that it was in reasonable form. 18p each way, lucky 15. We've got a 30p each way double on this one as well on Red Striker and Capacurry Croy. So that makes it £6 bet. Sky are best, second best Unibet, and then jointly 365 or Paddy Power for this one. That is bet 2. Generally find when we get to the Irish stuff, Paddy Power. Whether that's because their origins are in Ireland or not, are pretty good. So combination double. So these are the only 2 I like for a combo double. I like it, and this race has got a good race because it's offering 5 places with the most bookies. The 7:30 Newmarket, 4 places on quite a few bookies, but probably not quite half of them. I particularly like those two. So easily this was my best opportunity. So if I didn't find a second horse in either of those races, I wouldn't have done any combo doubles. I like these two races. 6:45 Kilbeggan, Game and Glory at 25s and Cliff Top at 18s. Going on to 7:30 Newmarket, we've took that last time. Gloucestershire at 22s, Moonlit Cloud at 18s. 4 times 25p each way doubles, £2 is the bet. 365 or Betfred, you will get Bog and the same place terms as you will do on Sky and Unibet. So if you're doing this in the morning when Bog's kicked in, 365 or Betfred are your best options, and then Sky or Unibet, all the same place terms, 5 and 4. Other bookmakers will either play 4 on that or 3 on that, and there's various ways of looking at that. That is bet free. And then we're going to finish off our UK evening split lucky 15. We've got the 5 past 7 at Hamilton, so 7:05 Hamilton. We took that on Monday. I was in the comments, I think I mentioned that in, and it didn't run a great race, but it didn't have a good track position. It wasn't so much draw bars, it was more track position. So I'm taking faith on that one. And interesting booking for jockey. Hayley Turner's going up to Hamilton for a couple of rides. She doesn't normally travel as far as that unless she's quite keen. So we will see. Ramon de Loria, she's got 2 rides at Hamilton. I'm taking one of them, 25 to 1. 7:15 Pontefract, Ventura Rascal at 12s. Then we're split leg in the 7:30 Newmarket. It's the 2 horses in the doubles, Gloucestershire and Moonlit Cloud. And then the 8:05, 5 past 8 at Newmarket. Yeah, 8:05, that is 8:05. It's clearly I'm tired. Cuban Breeze at 12s. 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15. So one with Ramon de Loria, one with Ramon de Loria, Ventura Rascal, Gloucestershire and Cuban Breeze, and Ramon de Loria, Ventura Rascal, Moonlit Cloud and Cuban Breeze. 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15s. Sky best, Unibet second best, Betfred third best, and then 365 or Coral are joint fourth best. £6 is your bet for bet 4. Definitely. I've started to say it a lot more at the moment. Unibet are starting to be second best bookmaker. Where Unibet come into their own at the moment, not so much the sort of the 16 plus handicaps playing lots of extra places, but 9-10 runner races where they're paying 4 places, and sometimes they're the only bookie that is. So yeah, if those of you who've got multiple accounts have not tried Unibet, I would definitely suggest opening a Unibet account in the moment. It hasn't always been the case, but right now they're feeling like a very helpful bookie to have for certain types of bets and certain combinations. All right, that's that. Golf, I'm pretty okay with how we've got on there. Harmon and Homer, the 2 H's, are in the top 10. So that's a nice place to be with two in the top 10. If they stayed like that, then you'd get your money back with a well, what would you get your money back? Yeah, we'd make a small profit off that. That would be all right. There's only a couple really that look like they're sort of dead and buried. One of them Shinkwin, and he was 1,000 to 1. So that's all right. It's not all right, but expected as far as the market is concerned. And then the Yankee bet, there's one of them, it's the Australian, forget his name. He looks like he's going to struggle to make the cut. The other 3 have definitely got chances of making the cut, and a couple of them look all right at the moment. It's hard to tell from day one, but I at this stage, unless the course gets particularly hard tomorrow, I would say 3 over might be the cut line. We'll have to see. That's where I'm basing it right now. We'll see whether it moves or not, but I think 3 over could be the cut line tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on that though. All right, that's that. And then stats, some of which I asked a bunch of questions. So clearly some people enjoyed all the stats from Wednesday's video or Tuesday night's video. So what was going to go through. So if I focus specifically on the Saturday combo doubles I talked about, so 12 combination doubles on flat racing since the 29th of April on a Saturday, and we talked about 10 out of 12 we'd had a winner. It's actually 9 out of the last 10 as well. So you could say 10 out of 12 or 9 out of the last 10 of Saturday combination doubles. We've had a winner in one leg. So that's 9 out of 10. I mean, come on, not getting them together. I've worked it out. If you actually looked when I talked about all 43 combination doubles and hitting 21 of them, I think we're now 21 out of 44. When it was 21 out of 43, I think I worked it out. You'd have to have the average price would be 7.2 to 1. We're clearly probably in the ballpark of double that. So we're well ahead of that. So somebody did ask me, I think Rufy asked me a question about if you'd back them all single wins, how many points would you be up? I need to do that calculation. It would be quite considerable. So if you backed all the horses in the combination double that have been put out, if you backed them all at the prices that I gave out, you'd be well ahead from a points point of view. I just would need to do the calculation to actually know exactly what it is and from a points point of view, but it is definitely well ahead. Of those Saturday ones, so if you think there was 12 combination doubles, so 24 races, here's a question for you. How many favourites won? How many of the favourites won of those 24 handicaps on a Saturday that I've played in? The answer is 1. One favourite won in one of those races. How many second favourites won? 4. So 1 favourite and 4 second favourites. So if all you did was go against me on those specific 24 races and back the favourite and the second favourite in every one, so 2 horses in each one, you'd actually you'd have had 5 winners against my 10. So that gives you a nice comparator. So people talk about the starting price as the true price. It's a barometer, but it's not always reflective. So just because a horse is a favourite, if you blindly back those favourites in all 24 of those handicaps, you would be well behind. So the true price is not the true price in some of those races at all. Because particularly on a Saturday, more people bet. And more people bet who only bet on a Saturday. And if you only bet on a Saturday, then generally speaking, there will be exceptions, you are less informed about picking horses and looking at betting markets and looking and understanding kind of the maths behind that, but also reading form. So Saturday markets, generally speaking, are formed by bigger amounts of people who are overall less informed. And therefore, the favourites, particularly in handicaps, are much likely to get turned over on a Saturday than other days. Now, I'm saying that is my experience. I'm not quoting that because clearly I don't have a whole backload of stats. And if anyone has a different view, feel free to share it. Entirely up to you. But generally speaking, it is a less informed betting market on a Saturday. The bookies set their market earlier, often on a Friday for it. But basically, you're competing against people, so there's more bias going on into there about certain things. So more bias towards certain trainers, certain jockeys. If people know about draw bias, there's going to have a lean on that. But the key thing is, in terms of what I'm doing, I'm not looking at a single piece of data that says that's why I picked the horse. I have to have multiple pieces of data together to pick a horse. So just solely going on that, and that's why you'll see on things like Saturday racing, I'm much more likely to pick horses going from smaller stables that are less well known. I'm not necessarily going to go and pick on jockeys. You'll rarely see me go for a Dettori or a Ryan Moore horse because the price will be artificially lower, particularly on a Saturday when more people go in on those things. So you've got to work against the bias. So what I was going to say to you, that was favourites. And there was something else about those combination doubles I was going to talk about. It was... So someone made a point, I can't remember who it was, a very valid point around, I think it was Robin actually, around how many times, because it certainly feels like that, of the horses I've got in the combination doubles aren't horses I've got in Lucky 15 bet. Well, I can say on the 10 winners we've had on the Saturday combination doubles on the flat, only 2 of them were my first choice picks. The other 8 were second, third, or in some cases fourth choice picks. Therefore, my lean for that race was mainly on different horses. And another reason why it's kind of cost us, and what I need to do is spend a little bit of time and going back through some of those handicaps and understand, okay, so I had a lean and it didn't go right, so why not? The ones I did pick that weren't my first choice, was there any commonality between picking those? What is it that made me pick them but then didn't want to push a little bit more on? So I want to try and see if I can find some trends that might inform how I might lean going forward in the handicaps. And yeah, it's just really good practice. And most people, I know people go down, got time for that. I get that. But if you've got a little bit of time, it is well worth going back, looking through races and seeing what you can learn every time. What can you learn about a result? Sometimes you can't. There was 100-1 winner on Thursday. I wouldn't have picked it. I didn't learn anything from that. Sometimes that stuff happens, right? So sometimes results are anomalies. Sometimes you can find things and you find trends and understand how you can do things. All right, I think that's where I was going to leave it. That's another sort of round of stats, I think. But my brain is definitely shutting down and ready for bed. So that's me for now. I'll be back. What are we on? Free bets will be on Saturday morning like usual. And then the usual Saturday morning vid. And then likely Sunday looks all right. So it's probably be a Saturday night video for Sunday. So 3 vids to look forward to on the weekend. 2 Saturday morning, 1 Saturday night, 3 on Saturday. It's a busy Saturday. I've also got to do, I think it's my mum's, I think it is, I know, it's my mum's 80th birthday celebration. So it's my mum's 80th birthday this week. So I've got a family thing on Saturday to celebrate my mum's birthday, which would be very lovely indeed. All right, enjoy your Friday, and let's hope and pray it is not the disaster that was Thursday. We'd like some positive vibes. Remember we had International Positivity Week, we had International Positivity Day. We'll have a bit of them vibes going on to Friday, please. All right. Thanks very much. See you Saturday. Bye-bye.